Well, hello, folks. Welcome to the Hello World Podcasting with Magdalena. How is everybody doing? Listen, thank you for tuning in. And I just wanted to welcome my new listeners. And then normally I'm actually talking about reflexology, not reflexology, astrology, I'm sorry, and how we can use astrology as a GPS. But I decided, or we decided, that we are going to do something different tonight. So tonight, for the surprise, I have actually a guest who is actually a friend of mine, and we've been working quite a bit, in the last 2, 3 years together, having quite a bit of challenges, experiences, learning about astrology and many other things. And we decided actually tonight to kind of start to share with you guys. And let's see how you would like it. And what we wanted to do with that is that let's down the road, invite people to join us and, go from there. And let's see what direction this whole thing will take us. So with that, Christy, I would like you to welcome to my Hello World Podcasting with Magdalena. Hello.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you.
Um, what would you like to know first? Like you said, we met probably 3 years ago, and
Yes.
I think in the beginning, it was probably the bumpiest. And there was like, no way, I can't. This woman's energy is way too strong for me. But there was something very early on, and I'm like, oh, she's challenging me. And I sat there for a second. I'm like, go ahead with your challenge. I'll accept that challenge. And it just was a seeming match constantly, because every time you would give me a challenge, I would rise to the occasion. I'm like, this is actually pretty interesting. Because I kept leveling up. It felt like to me I kept leveling up, and it's just been nonstop for the past 3 years.
I know, I love it. I'm so love it because I am very strong-headed, as we know my Leo. We were just talking about, but the point is, I love to have somebody who can actually challenge me because that way I am growing myself. So
Yeah. Well, and I've seen so many people get frustrated and walk away
yes,
from the challenges, and it allowed me to grow immensely and to start to challenge other people. And now, I mean, it is fun, right? Because I just think there's such a great uh stepping up, of intellect, and you can better hold a conversation. There's so much, the frustration just falls away. So
absolutely.
I have been greatly appreciative of our friendship over the past few years, and we've had a lot of laughs too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you.
It's
But
not just
also,
not work.
listen, this is the reason actually we've been talking about that, all these challenges and what we went through in the least in the last 3 years, we came to such a humongous and depth knowledge and information. And well, we've been actually working with some groups and we organized ourselves, but what really became the issue there that a lot of people had no structure, they could not understand because the intensity what we are going through right now.
Mhm.
And that's the reason why we are actually even decided, it's like, okay, let's share. Maybe we will find more people who are feeling the same way, or people who can listen to us and they say, oh, wait a minute, girls, we have a solution, can we jump on it? That's another
Yes,
thing.
yes. We met actually in some other groups, and we realized that maybe this isn't the right path or the right inspiration. We could just tell with our own frequency that it wasn't the right place to be, or how we were going to move forward with everything being so challenged. So what we did, and we've spent a few years working on this, is that we didn't need to create another group. We just needed to connect to the groups that were already there. And also we don't need to educate people on what it is that we know. We should just be sharing the information that we found, and we hope that that inspired them to take their own action, or to at least look at um, multiple viewpoints so that they can make a better, more informed decision for themselves. So what was born out of that is, and we've toggled over names quite a bit, the People's Inspiration Network, so that we can
Mhm.
connect, share, and inspire like-minded groups.
Also,
And
Christy, I would love to add before we move forward is that we are actually, I mean, we are both here in US, but I'm actually from Europe, and I am very much drawn to the international affairs and international connections. So folks, if you're listening outside the US, listen, you are all welcome here, because the world is becoming too small, just to be in one group. As you can see it, we are all working together, and that is fascinating, so to me. So I just wanted to add that, Christy, to that.
absolutely, I loved meeting with our international
Yes.
friends. I
Mm-hmm.
miss it a little bit, actually. So yes, there will definitely be a place, a welcoming place, a place to connect and network all around the world. This is not just for the United States. There will be many times, I'm sure, as we see now, where many of us can bring the whole group to rally around, one idea or many ideas, just so people can. So many people right now, it feels that they live in fear. Oh, I hear this so much. I'm just one person, what can I do? Well, this is a place where you don't have to live in that fear. You can see that there are millions of people, not just in our country, but around the world, that could come together. We don't have to agree on everything, but I mean, the basics could be there. Stop harming, stop causing harm, letting people have a choice of their own, to make their own decisions. Again, like-minded people that could come together on multiple levels. So it's not just come to this new group. We don't want to create a group. I don't want to be in charge of any groups.
Yeah,
I want
we
people
went
to
through that
find.
one.
Right, right. So it's more like a directory base. If you're looking for alternative shopping, if you're looking for alternative health and wellness resources, if you're looking for information, if you're looking for other groups, or, something to research, there's a lot of resources that are being added to this platform. Goodness gracious knows that we've been through, I don't know, maybe 3 lifetimes worth of information just in the past 3 years alone.
And
And if it
also how much information we've been gathering, or how much information we've been actually sharing with other people is fascinating.
Absolutely. I love archiving. I love documenting. So that's one of my part of my background, and why I love building networks for people. This
Mhm.
isn't the first network I've built. This is probably my third large network. It is very tedious, time consuming, but I do love the complex structures. So um, I love archiving, and then doing the sorting out, part of my it's part of my astrological
Also,
makeup.
yeah, and also, Christy, I just wanted to add that I know that you're very much your interest is also in law and the justice, and we've been working on that. We've been sharing and going through a lot of frustration. And in my direction, I'm more. I mean, I'm also very much interested what's really going on the law side, but also what's going on in the health and wellness aspect, because those are right now very much under control and under manipulation.
Yes, I do have a definite love of the law.
Yes.
And
That.
that's where, many, many moons ago, I started my original career in law. And I loved it. And now I do work with law on a daily basis and have for the past 25 years. It's just not in, the commercial code law most people would think. Now, the thing that when 3 years ago, when we've heard the term common law, law of the land, God's law, all of these different types of law. But once I really got in there and started digging around, I'm like, what? There's a whole different set of, sovereignty laws that apply to us. So it's really important for me to share this type of information with people and hope that they can get some exercise. And maybe it is something that we could offer periodically, is to have, a call where everybody can come on and we can do kind of role playing so that people can get the
Mhm,
exercise
mhm.
of how to exercise their real rights. The Supreme Court has even said, if you do not exercise your rights, you have none. So you'll be really surprised at what people think the law is versus what it
What that
really
really
is,
is, yes. Hmm.
and how you can really use it to your benefit so that, again, you don't have to live in that fear. And I do think the role playing helps you build the confidence, and building the confidence gets you out of the fear so that it's easier for you to come together and say, hey, wait, you know, that's not right. You need to stop doing that. And you can stand up on your own when you need to, as an individual, for your family, for your community, for your entire country, if need be, and for all around the world. Again,
Absolutely.
and then of course, everybody coming together is that connection, that unified connection.
Well, I think the biggest issue, what we actually experience as a collective right now, is that, we kind of got, hijacked and surprised that we were not prepared. We were kind of in this, easygoing lifestyle. We've been thinking, life is good, life is this, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, we were not prepared because we did not have the entire information. We've been lacking so much information. It doesn't matter what direction, and we've been played. We've been played and we've been lied. So this is right now a huge and rude awakening for the humanity. And I think that's the biggest issue and the biggest challenge that people are facing, Krista, is that, a lot of people are even not aware they're being lied or scrutinized, so a lot of them are even not capable to believe that what we are experiencing could be done by people in leadership and everything else. It's like, oh yeah, so a lot of stuff. People will have to go through the shock, and many are actually being impacted on the mental level because they don't know. They do not know what the next step is. So that is what this whole information field is so crucial. And I'm so glad so many other groups are doing this too, because we need that.
Absolutely. And I love looking at other groups' perspectives. I love just hearing it from their perspective. It also helps me understand that individual, because I do
Mhm.
believe, one of our main, um, I guess, reasons for wanting to do this is to appreciate and respect the individual and their choices and their just what it is that they need for themselves. Again, not one thing fits all, not one medicine fits all, not one perspective fits all.
Right.
And I do think that it is important for people to take their time so that they have the time to comprehend and digest the information. Yes, it's a lot, and no one's asking you to do as much as what we did. I know that there have been times when each of us have made ourselves a little ill and we've had to step away, and that's completely
Mhm.
fine. That's completely okay, just because there was so much information, and you're like, is it possible? I have to, is that true? We've all gone through our own cognitive dissonance. But you
Yes,
know what? That's what we're here for now. We can help people through and just have the conversation, not to change their mind, but just to be there to say, yeah, we've been through that. It's okay. Take your time. And no one's forcing anybody to believe anything other than what it is they feel like they should believe for that time. They might change their mind in a week or two or never, and that's perfectly fine as well.
absolutely.
I think that's what a great part of the information is for, that,
Mhm.
well, the resources that we want to put out for people as well.
Mhm. Mhm. Great. I'm so excited for that because look, like I said, we do not know in what direction that may go. But I would actually just kind of like to throw out from the astrological aspect. We know that the Pluto is right now back into the Capricorn, and holy cow, it is not nice. Let me just be we know
It's been a
that.
little tough lately. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know that you are also studying astrology and stuff. So I'm so excited because actually this is why it's so important, I think, because Pluto is in the last degree and it will be in Capricorn until November next year. I think 2 weeks after election or something. And so, folks, this is hugely important because, we have Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces, another tough one. Okay. So we are dealing with this, we are tangled with so much craziness that we have a hard time to untangle what is the truth, what is the lie, you know? And
Hmm.
and I think until next year, until next November, they will do even more pushes that will people say, what the heck is this about? So the more we are kind of holding together and sharing information, so and supporting each other, is just like, okay, just breathe, take a breather or whatever, or somebody will always give you some kind of grounding word or thought or something that can actually help you to stabilize, because yes, I mean, we will move through that, but will that be easy? I am not quite sure. you know
Well, this is what I love about our long format conversations that could go
Yes.
on for hours, is how you and I woke up this morning thinking about this because you and I just realized that our birth time is mirrored as well as our astrological placements, spot on, a 20-year time period. And I mean, we look at astrology constantly, and it was just last night that I'm like, wow, our time is even a mirror. How I woke up, I'm still amazed about that this morning. And
Well, remember,
when
I said to you that, I mean, I know three aspects for years and years and years, and I could not believe we were playing actually with the astrocartography.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and it just looked like those 3 points that I've been, experiencing internally. It was just confirmed to the astrocartography. I said, "Holy shit!"
That was a lot of fun to play with, because I did think about that too with the Labrador, and I'm like, okay, so we're supposed to retire there. If the shit hits the fan here, we could move to this spot in this state, and we both will do
Knows.
well there. It was just so funny how we both just live in this mirror state. But
Absolutely.
what one of the other things that I would, excuse me, love to invite people to at some point once we get back to it is our long format, what we call the show, Moving the Energies.
Yeah.
And we we have this just having the conversation, um you
We
and I have
have
done this.
always, we are bringing up always our frustrations and then we are processing
Yeah.
it.
Yes, yes. But look what comes out of that. I mean, it's like a clock within 24 to 48 hours for you and I when
Yep.
the answer comes to the surface, the solution comes up. It's like that frustration is the clamp of the energy, and
Mm-hmm.
we talk about it, we vent about it, we ponder on things, we look up things, and then we let it go. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, we're gonna get down, we're gonna go to bed, we've had enough. And then we let it go. We let go of the frustration. And within 24 to 48 hours, it's like, oh, wow, this was just, you're not going to believe what was put in front of me. Here's a guy talking about the same thing, and he's already figured out a letter. We're going to copy, he's invited us to copy his letter and then email that to our congressman or something like that.
Yes.
It's just amazing. And I would have never thought, I'm like, what is this hullabaloo? No way. I wouldn't believe into that. And time and time and time and time and time again, it it worked. I mean, we are a true testament of energy transference and
Yes.
transforming that energy so
Mhm.
that that manifestation, that solution can come up. And the more that we invite people to come on board with that, um, I think it will work on a larger scale.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, my point is, I use astrology. I will not call myself a perfect astrologer, but I am actually using astrology, the signs and the qualities just as a GPS. You remember, this is why I call actually my show is astrology for the GPS, to just give us a direction, because this is the same thing, I always think that we have a free will. I'm not talking about that the stars are totally influencing you. They are actually just giving you the idea. What are you going to do with that? It will be up to you, how you will handle that energy. But the point is, what is so fascinating about that is that when we are going down the line, when we have those calls, what we do, we talk about the blockages. We are talking about what that could mean. And then if we are looking for some kind of solution, it's like, okay, we just let go. And that's where, we are experiencing that the solution shows up, or some kind of piece of the puzzle, 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch. I still, even though I'm a participant in that, I still consider myself an observer, because I know something deep down inside of me that says if you try to push this, you're gonna, that will break. And your by your famous lines, the energy's neutral. It just depends on who's gonna reach out and grab it.
Yep, you can use it for positive or you can be a negative. So which one do you want? Go, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, there, and right now, what I would add to this whole story, why we are where we are, yes, we are changing the timeline, not timelines, but moving from the what's the name, Pisces into Aquarius, and Pluto is moving. This Pluto Capricorn into Aquarius. This is huge. That is such huge a movement. But also we know that we are going through the challenges. So the point is, we are, even though I hate this line that we are here on the planet Earth, graduating as a school, but yes, I always prefer to say that, we are learning how to master the energies. And that's what is the bottom line, that we were letting go. We were just kind of thinking, oh yeah, everything will be hunky-dory, just think about something and it will happen. Maybe for some people. That's not what I'm
Right, right.
experiencing. So
Well, we did come out of we were, I think, thrown into wow. it's really bad. It's worse than I thought. I know for me, that's how it was.
Mhm.
And that's ended up how I found how you and I got connected, because I was looking for other people to say, surely if I know about this, other people know about this. And that's always like my go-to is, if I knew, you best believe that they knew.
Yeah.
And and I was like, wow, I'll never forget the moment when in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, this is so much worse than what I ever anticipated. You know, somebody really fell asleep at the wheel here.
Mm.
And just seeing how things are laid out, very meticulously and very purposefully. Um, with the intention that is behind it. It's 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 no, it honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't fill in the they however you feel. I'm surprised that it hasn't progressed much further than it has now, because of how things are so well laid out. But in searching for other people, other like-minded people, um, yeah, we did live a great life of convenience.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
sure. It
Yes.
was very convenient. And now it's, wow. I mean, we still go through the shock and awe
Oh
of
yeah.
of
Oh yeah.
things, when we're digging deep into stuff. And I think you and I probably most go through these phases of, I'm not on that anymore. I've concluded what I was going to conclude from that. And that's, here's the information. I've archived it. I've documented it. I've sent letters if I needed to. I wrote an article if I needed to. I've sent this information to the appropriate person, and hopefully they have a better wherewithal and knowledge of how to handle that. And these things are just going to take a long time, if not a lifetime, to
Yeah.
sort out, which is why one of the reasons why the network for me is so important, because there are so many things, and you take them on an individual, um, just on an individual task. That one individual task is so big, and there are hundreds of those things.
Yes.
And when you put them all together, you're like, wow, I mean, they all work together. This is part
Absolutely.
of.
And another thing, what I would like to add to that is that, maybe people who are gonna listen to this recording, they will say, well, well, this is because of this, and this is because of this. I get it. Trust me, we went through all of them. Okay. But
Mhm.
my point is, or our point is, I mean, I can talk to, and you name too, because we have a lot of this conversation. The bottom line is, yeah, all those things, but can you come up with a solution for me?
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
What's
And so the
yeah.
point is, what I'm saying, trying to say with that is that, so what I'm going right now in the whole different direction, and what I'm being guided is look like the alchemical process, how to alchemize. And that's what I always say, how do I master this? And
And
that's
how do we master this while we're living our daily lives?
exactly,
That still has to take place as well.
exactly,
Well,
exactly.
I don't want to go to this doctor anymore. He might or she might be getting their pockets padded by big pharma, and I'm done with that. Well, in the meantime, while we're trying to get things connected or create a new alchemical process or a new solution, we still have to do health and wellness. We still have to go shopping. We still have
We
to
are still living in the sleepy
educate
world.
children. Yeah, we still have to find alternatives
Yeah,
to
yeah,
living in this world. And it's not about, I don't want to call it, creating parallel society, but it's just alternatives to how we already live,
yeah,
so that there are alternatives.
yeah,
I want people to understand there are choices that can be made. And if there's not one, we can create one.
yeah.
We have a fantastic group of creators.
Well, and
And if
that is actually the call out for those people who are thinking they have some solution. jump on board, guys. You know,
Absolutely.
that's what we are looking for. The more creative people we have, the better it is, because not everybody will be educated or know what to do with this. But if we have people who have a variety, then that is a great way of going forward, because somebody will always be there to say, okay, let me help. I know what to do with this.
Right. And we would also look for people who want to help and just be listed if you have a product, or maybe you have some type of modality. Maybe you create alternative education for children, or you have an alternative news, or you just want to be added to the directory. You can message us at People's Inspiration Network at gmail.com, and we're filling up the directory now. Let me just double check that email address is correct. Yes, People's Inspiration Network at gmail.com.
Thank you.
And we'll be loading the directory. And it doesn't matter if you make homemade soap, that has no chemicals in it, or maybe you have a farm, maybe permaculture. I'm very interested in that. Maybe common law, and you can help with some role-playing classes. When we get to that point, I have a funny story. I haven't even told you yet, Magdalena, about that, about some common law stuff that happened to me in real life just recently. Or
Okay.
maybe you have some alternative shopping ideas. This is just a way to connect people with other people, and with other people, not just
Exactly.
in our country, but in every country around the world.
Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Well, listen, I'm so excited that we kind of did this show today. And listen, folks, we are looking forward to, do more of this. So if you're interested, get in touch with us. And Christy just gave you the email. So feel free to connect, and also, give us some ideas or stuff, what you like or you don't like what we were sharing. We are open for
Yes.
everything.
Yep. And the website, again, it's a little bare now because you can just see the format and the layout, and
You know
a
what?
lot of the buttons don't work. Is peoplesinspiration.network.
Listen, Chrissy, I will actually send it to me, and I will actually add the link below in my things instructions of the.
Okay, sounds great.
Awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much. That was very entertaining. It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to have more of this conversation.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for having me on. It was great.
Thank
Always
you.
great talking to you.
Same here. Okay, until next time. Okay, guys, thank you so much
Bye.
for tuning in. Bye-bye.